Okay, so I have this company called TechResource, and over there, and in another company called BioDye, both places we employ a lot of people. And this presentation is basically my perspectives of what we face when we hire science passed out graduates. Okay. Dr. Archana here is also a part of our company, and she's in the audience. So you'll also put in some inputs when required. So what we do, the two companies, at TechResource, we are manufacturing scientific equipment, and we make mainly biotech equipments, and we are slowly moving into more other kinds of equipments. And at BioDye, we have dyeing units. Basically, we do natural dyeing of textiles, that's fabrics and yarn or apparel. I think somebody, I think Dr. Sawant, when he talked about, he had mentioned textile and sustainable as one of the green collar jobs. So I'm probably one of them over here. So whom do we hire? So in TechResource, we hire a lot of science graduates, either BSc or MScs, mainly biologists, but we have also employed some people from mathematics or physics, and some also from chemistry. We hire them for lab work, that is for research and for QC. But they are few. The majority of people whom we hire are from the sales and marketing or scientific content creators. They are biologists who are now doing marketing or sales. And why we need that is because our equipment has a lot of technical details which need to be educated to the client. And so we need somebody who already has used that equipment or is familiar with the process. In BioDye, we do not have any particular educational qualification that we need from our people who are working in the R&D section or the process or the QC. In fact, our so-called head of R&D is a person who has not even finished his HSC. The way he describes a supernatant and pellet would be मिट्टी नीचे आ गया, ऊपर पानी रह गया. वो मिट्टी से मैंने आगे काम किया. Okay, so that is the kind of words he uses, but he does amazing research. So the point here is that not necessarily we need science graduates to do a lot of the work, and even a simple person he's a fisherman by caste, and he himself works in a factory and does amazing work. He does better work than I could have done when I was doing it over there. Okay. So, okay. So what are the problems we face when we hire these fresh graduates, and how we address these problems is the main crux of my presentation, and we'll be spending most of our time on this slide. So one is that when they come to us, and at the interview stage itself, we see that they have poor concepts and lack of subject information. Now, I can say that there are three points here. I mean, three reasons why this could be the case. Either they have been taught poorly, and that's why they don't know, or they've been taught well, but they didn't retain, or they were just not there, a part of the presentation, or they were not part of the college system at all. I mean, they just passed through. Now, the first part is something that we can't control. I mean, in fact, none of these things is something that as an employer we can control. The only thing we can do is once they join us, we give them extensive training. We have designed some modules. We train them particularly for what job they need to do. We don't train them everything. So let's say if a person is going to be doing sales and marketing, and he needs to know very basic stuff on electrophoresis or on some certain things of molecular biology, we have a module developed just to train them about that. We do not train them about other things. So they would leave our company, they would know a lot about their subject that we are dealing with, but they would not know anything else as such. Okay. Now this is something that can be done at the college level itself, but unfortunately, we are made to do this. That is, they do not have the habit of taking any project that is given to them to completion. So I'll give you an example. When I was in college, this is in the year 2002, 2001, I was in Xavier's, and we had to write our journals by hand. All the drawings were done by hand, the journals were written by hand. Now I think most of the colleges have stopped doing that. Colleges give a printed journal and only results are put in. And the reason behind it is that you don't have time. And the students also don't have time and nobody writes it. So the problem over there is that when we were writing the journal by hand, we would have a lot of mistakes. And the teachers would then correct them. They would point out our mistakes. We would have to correct it and submit it back again. And that process would continue till the whole journal was complete and it was correct. Now that is no longer the case. You put in your details, you put in your values, and done, over and out. Now what happens is when those students come to us and we tell them, okay, we need to make a brochure, put this in. Or we say, write a manual on this new product which is there. They'll write a draft and they'll send it to us. We will make a correction and send it back to them. They get highly disappointed that it has come back. Never mind, it's just the first draft. They'll make some changes and that's it. Then you ask them to change it again and they're very upset. They think they have failed. So the problem is that they are not used to these iterations over and over, doing things till they get it right. So this is something that needs to change. So what we do to change it from here is that once they have given a draft, we meet them, tell them, see, it's a good job, but you need to work on it more. This is a process, it's going to take time. Our time period is 1 month. And we have to keep on hand-holding them for the first few rounds that this happens. Only then they get the confidence of saying that, okay, it's not them, it's the process which takes time. So we need multiple one-on-one sessions. Now, ours is a small company, so we can afford to do this. We can afford to do a lot of hand-holding. We can afford to have one-on-one sessions every now and then, and I, as the owner, get involved every time, but not in big companies. There is no time. So then they start failing, and that becomes an issue. And the biggest problem that we face is job dissatisfaction. Most science graduates come out thinking they are supposed to be doing lab work. Anything other than lab work, and they are not happy. So if I get a guy or a girl who is now going to work in marketing or sales, that is because they have tried getting jobs in labs and they have not succeeded. So they have already come to us sort of moping. They are moping in their lives that they did not get what they were supposed to be doing. So we are supposed to first get them out of it. Like I think Sachin mentioned that, he's not there now, but he had mentioned that when they get students from, the 70% of the students who want to do MBBS and they are now doing science. The same way, these students, 70% of them wanted to do lab work, but they didn't get anywhere. So we have to now train them that it's okay. Lab work is not the only thing that science tells you to do. There are lots of other things that you can do which will give you a good, satisfactory life. And that's what we do. We do a regular feedback. We have sessions with them every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. It takes about 4 to 5 months for that student to come into the routine of doing things, which is not lab work. And we have to convince them that they are solving real life problems, and lab and research lab is not the only thing that is there to do. So what we did was, we realized that there was this problem, that there is a lack of concepts, the first point that I talked about. So we decided to start having training sessions at college level for second year BScs and third year BScs for our products that we were making. I mean, to train them on our products. Because we had a lot of them, we can go to colleges and train them on those products as such. So we conducted workshops for molecular biology experiments, mainly electrophoresis and blotting units, etc. But we realized that at that point itself, it is a little late, because the students are not receptive to understanding things in a different way. They have got so used to the routine college environment and the routine college thinking that they don't listen to us openly if we are teaching it in a different way. That's why Dr. Archana and I mainly her, she started with this process of teaching children, even earlier than that. Even before they reach the 12th standard or 10th standard, we started teaching them science experiments, hands-on scientific experimentation as a way to get concepts clear to them. So this is one slide from that where we are targeting, I think, age 6 and 7 at this stage. Yeah. So we have a whole module made up for ages 6 and 7 right now, and we are slowly going to 8, 9 years of age, and we plan to go up till, I think, 12, right? 12 or 12, 13. So what we do is we conduct workshops. We create curriculum aligned programs. So we take the whole syllabus from the textbooks of CBSE, ICSE, and SSE, etc. And we pool them together and pick up topics which are crucial. And we make a whole different kind of a experiment which will then teach them the concept clearly. So how we do that is, so for example here, we have the boy with the red t-shirt. He's listening to a stethoscope that he has made himself. And using that, we teach them how the heart beats and how sound travels. So 2 different disciplines brought together at one, and it's taught to a kid who's about 6 or 7 years of age. And all of these are using repurposed materials, and it's like basically a tube, a funnel, and a balloon. That's what makes a stethoscope. And all of those experiments that you see the kids are doing, everything is with repurposed and recycled material, so that they can do the same thing at their home without us providing things. Now, we can also make kits and give it to people if they desire. We have designed those kits as well. Now, what happens is, if you look at any of the commercially available kits, they have a lot of show, but they're not teaching you too much. I mean, that's most people whom we talk to. They have bought those kits, but they're not happy because it has those fancy experiments, one of them being the volcano. That's the most common experiment. I mean, anybody who has kids will know that you get those kits, and volcano is one of the most common thing that. So we don't do any of those experiments which are jazzy, but they don't explain any concepts. We pick up an experiment which has a simple underlying thing which shows a concept very clearly. And now currently what we are trying to do is to manufacture those kits and keep them together so that we can give it as a resource to schools and other institutes which require it. So we are not targeting the colleges yet, we are targeting school children. And what we need help in right now is connecting to more schools and to procure funds for places, for schools which don't have the ability to fund these kind of kits, or to have educators go there and teach them. So for example, we were in Panchgani some time back, and over there a school doesn't have the funds to procure any kind of experimentation, any kind of lab equipment, or they don't even have teachers. So there are a couple of people who go from Mumbai over there to teach them everything. I mean, they start from computer science to simple science experiments to other things. I mean, they are teaching everything over there. Also because the reason being that the teachers are not present in class every day. So that also becomes one additional problem. And we are trying to collaborate with science promoting entities. We try to ask them for space where we can conduct events, or to also have some kind of expositions where at the end of the whole year, different schools can come together, and here we would have a different kind of a curriculum. See, right now also there are lots of projects that kids do. They build a project from home and they get it to the school. And there the cost disparity, the purchasing power makes a difference. People who have a higher purchasing power make very fancy kits and very fancy experiments, fancy projects, whereas the people from poor schools can't afford to do that. So our idea is to not have that and have us provide the whole experimental kit and they make it on campus itself. So I think I have summarized all the things that we expect to do. And this is the last slide. If you all have any questions, I can take them now.
Thank you, Mustafa, for